More election news now. Day 3 of early voting and long lines continue at polling places. One thing Palm Beach County leaders have noticed is that voters are making mistakes on their ballots. News Channel 5's Jacqueline Powell live now at the Supervisor of Elections office to show us the common mistakes people are making that could impact whether their votes counted. Jacqueline?
Kelly, we've seen a huge turnout for early voting so far this year. Thousands of people standing in these lines like the one behind me here in Palm Beach County every day. But more people so far have actually filed absentee ballots. As of right now, more than 70,000 people in Palm Beach County have sent one of these in, and those counting the votes want to make sure that people are doing it right.
Lots of ballots to go through.
Commissioner Stephen Abrams asked us to come meet with him today and help him explain to voters how to correctly fill out a ballot.
What we found yesterday in our first day of canvassing is that there are a couple of errors that some people make very understandable but also very avoidable.
Abrams is part of the 3-member canvassing board that has to review every ballot with errors. The goal is to save every vote possible.
We will count the ballots where we can discern what the voter's intent is. And a lot of times it's easy to do. They'll put an X through their mistake, or instead of connecting the arrows, they're going to circle yes or circle no or circle a candidate.
But it's time consuming. Tuesday, Abrams told me he spent 8 hours reviewing hundreds of disputable ballots, and he expects the same every day through the end of the election.
It slows up the process. If you fill out the ballot correctly the first time, it just goes right through the machine, gets counted right away, and we can, on the canvassing board, get those results more quickly on election night to our public.
One of the most common mistakes, circling 2 options for the presidential race. He said some voters try to pair a presidential candidate and an additional candidate that's not their running mate.
Maybe a Trump and a Johnson, or a Clinton and a Stein. In other words, people thinking that they can vote for a president and another person on the list as a vice president.
In those cases, the vote for president is thrown out. Abrams says voters also tend to get confused in the section that asks about retaining Supreme Court justices and judges in the District Court of Appeals, some circling yes and no here. You can only choose one. He also reminds voters you can leave any section you're not sure of blank.
If you want to skip a race, you don't know the people, that's fine. Just skip the race, move on. The rest of your votes will count.
The important takeaway, read all of the directions and take your time to make that happen. Well, in the directions at the top of your ballot here, you'll find that you are not supposed to write in red ink, circle, or X through anything. Common mistakes, again, that people are making. All of those are things that will make the process of getting your vote counted take a lot longer. Live in West Palm Beach, Jacqueline Powell, WPTV News Channel 5.